happy to introduce a personality who is a veteran army personality and who served our motherland and now who is in strong love with the fountain pens. And hope you all are going to have a fantastic time with her ideas, with her work, with her views on fountain pens, and almost all the worldly knowledge or points you'll get about the fountain pens now. And I've been following her for the past 1 year. I'm so happy that I'm also a member in the WhatsApp group of her The Ink group, and every single day I get energized by reading a lot of posts from all the co-members along with the admin, main admin, Miss Nithi. We all welcome you, Miss Nithi. We are all eagerly waiting for you for your talk. It's a wonderful time.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It's an absolute honor, firstly, for me that I got an opportunity to not just interact with you, sir, but learn so much from you.
It's
So
it's
I was looking
it's
forward to
mutual.
this interaction. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And now I have my straight question. That is, how come? See, it's a two diversified fields. You were in army, and now you are with the fountain pens most of the times. And I can make out during the daytime. I think most of the time your day is filled with a fountain pens or this ink or that nib, this nib, that brand. All these things. I always get a lot of information from your WhatsApp group. So happy to be associated with it. And now my question is, how come you are with the fountain pens now, which is very diversified from your basic field?
In fact, sir, you'll be amazed that in the army, uh, there are many officers who, till date, they are into not just using fountain pens, but they are also into collecting fountain pens. And I have been fortunate. In fact, how the ink started, that itself is a example that how we the the officers, or the soldiers for that matter, how do we connect to fountain pen. It started with a simple conversation I had with one of the officers, um, year before last. I had that time I was still serving. I had not left the army, and it so happened I entered his office for a job, and that was the first time I was meeting him. And I introduced myself and I sat, um, and I noticed his fountain pen, and I was using a very old Ratnam Sun pen. So, which by then, that time I was not aware of that. Uh, which is quite embarrassing because if you are a fountain pen collector and that to an Indian and you don't know Ratnam Sons, then it's quite embarrassing. So I couldn't recognize the pen, and I was carrying at that time I had a Schiffer, a Lamy, and a Faber Castell pen. So I think so either one of them I was probably carrying. So he noticed my pen and he first asked, which is this pen? And I asked sir, which is the pen you are using? That's how our conversation started. And at that time only we just in that casual conversation we said, sir, we should have a fountain pen club of at least a enclosed circle of the army people. Then I moved out of the army, cutting the long story short, and I just had put something I had written and I had put as a display picture or something. And one of my own friends, who's also in the army, he connected to me. He said, "Nidhi, how come you are into fountain pens?" And I didn't notice. I said, "I had always been using fountain pens." So
Okay.
that is how these two people became very instrumental, and they were very encouraging. And they said, "Let's go ahead. Let's bring people who are into this beautiful hobby. Let's bring them together. Let's keep this culture intact, because slowly the digitization has kind of not only made us um, apprehensive, I would say. It has made us apprehensive to use anything or do anything manual. So when we are coming back on exercising ourselves in the traditional way by doing yoga and switching over to organic food, why not we encourage this, which is one of the most important exercises for our brain.
Okay, okay. It's really wonderful. And nowadays, I hear from somebody that by looking at a person using fountain pen, they have a little low kind of feeling. आज का जमाना में क्या है fountain pen use कर रहा है? Are you from a old school and are you an orthodox person? You're not modernized. You're not up to the mark. You're not updated. Kind of feeling I can make out from their eyes, if not from their words. What's your line on that?
I think so. When they Google things, they should also Google who are the world leaders who use fountain pens, and they'll be amazed to see that most of the world leaders, uh, not just political leaders, but most of the influential people also,
Mhm.
they uh, they are into using fountain pens, and there is always this connection between fountain pen and people who have that kind of revolutionary thought process. There has always been a connection between these two. Yes, nowadays even like there was the tradition of the US president always using a fountain pen, although that tradition got a little discontinued. But there are many other countries which are still following. I mean, we can see UK. The Queen, she doesn't use any other pen. She uses the Parker 51. So that is the kind of there is that there is an exclusivity to it, which I feel often people will not be able to understand, especially who are not much into uh, writing. So we should not get discouraged, and we should continue to use. Take it as a compliment. If we are keeping something uh, which was given to us by our our predecessors, so we should keep it alive. We are keeping it alive. We should be proud of that.
It's truly brilliant, actually. Many people should be starting with the fountain pen with your answer. I really liked it. That's fantastic. And what's your favorite brand? Does it change every single day, or do you have one or two on top of everything?
I would say that my choice of brand has been like there has always been, it has been very dynamic. More than the brand, I think so. We all start as hoarders. We all start as hoarders when we get into the collection phase. I have been till now been only a user because I had selected few pens which could assist me in daily functioning. So I kept it limited to 2-3 pens, which can be which are easy to maintain, and Lamy tops when it comes to everyday carry pens. So that too an AL, because at least you are not using plastic. We are using a metal, and it has a long lasting a long life. So I had kept Sheffer again is a brand which gives that formal look, and it is easy to carry when you're going to any meetings or anything. So I stuck to these two, Faber Castell again. So I stuck to these 2-3 brands when it came to being a user. But yes, post release, when I got into the collection, to understand collection, we all have that journey. I mean, at least for me, I had this journey where from hoarder to having some favorites before, then understanding the dynamics of writing and how each part of the fountain pen is affecting our writing, whether it's the nib, the feed section, the ink filling system. So over a period of time, you mature. So it is like how from a child you turn into a teenager, and how by the time you become an adult you have a certain maturity. So I think so you go through the same phase in the fountain journey. And talking of uh, brands, I don't have a specific. You can say that this is a specific. But yes, one thing which I promote, I advocate, are the Indian fountain pen manufacturers, because I personally feel uh, we underrate them. We really underrate their efforts. And if we can't, as being Indians, if we can't give a market to them, then I don't know who else will do that for it. So we have to work to bring them to the global stature. I'm I'm, I'm certain. I mean, Mont Blanc and all are they are not just brands. They are the more of a cult, you know. So definitely they due regards to these legends in fountain pen writing, but somewhere we have to encourage them through critics as well as appreciation, and that can only come if we use their pens.
Wonderful. I know you're out of station for the training program or something. Do you have anything handy which you love today, or in general, do you carry something for
Yes,
us?
yes. I tried to when we were traveling. I remember this discussion I did with my group, and that was like, how do the question was that how to shortlist pens. Can somebody guide me? because that's and you will not believe it. There is a video by Gule Pens on this as to how you should go about selecting selecting pens for travel and how many you should carry. So that kind of a video they had done, but somehow that did not resolve my issue. And finally, one of the members said that just keep a number, na? 10 pence. Keep it like 10 pence or 5 pence. Just shortlist to that. But a very interesting fact I realized when I did shortlist, and this could be very useful for people who are beginners or who want to get into the fountain pen thing. Uh, when I shortlisted,
Mhm.
I came down to pens
Okay.
which were of probably lesser than or almost equal to my hand size.
Okay.
Yeah, and easy to carry, easy to maintain, and easy to fill.
Okay.
I picked up. I'm a piston filler lover, through and through. I love piston fills, and I'm really you can say I go gaga over the Twisbees because they are demonstrators, and so and you see the ink flow, so that kind of gives a different pleasure to us.
Okay.
So. But when I came down to shortlisting the pens, especially for travel, and especially when you are going out of your your permanent base to say for a few months to some place, it is ultimately boiling down to pens which are handy, easy to clean, easy to use. You don't have to worry on these aspects, and also to inks. When it comes to inks. Inks which are suitable for maybe if you know you have few gold nibs and you have few steel nibs, so some I carried only those inks which are suitable for both, you know, safe for both. I
Okay.
didn't carry much of shimmer and all those stuff. So you know, those kinds of things were a realization for me. And uh, and it's a myth that you cannot carry filled pens in aircraft. If you just keep them upright, it doesn't matter. You just have to open up slowly. So all
Yeah.
those things, you know, you learn. So it was a great learning experience, and then finally I just had 10 pens. uh, Presently, if you say, I am having my own creation, I would call.
Okay. Okay.
uh, it is this pen. I've
Latest.
named it the ink pen, and it has the colors of my logo.
Yeah.
And this has been made by Wazir Fountain Pens. It's a new manufacturing
Okay.
company, the youngest in the Indian manufacturing pen manufacturing company. So they helped me in manufacturing this pen, and they actually assisted me a lot in, especially Nisha. She
Oh.
just helped me a lot in, figuring out that okay, what works, what doesn't work, what people
Okay.
will like. So my focus was on, when I was conceptualizing this, my focus was that it was the it is something which is not to do with commercialization. It is more to do with spreading awareness on this.
Yeah.
And so when we were conceptualizing the pen, it was the focus was on how to make a very comfortable writing instrument, something which breaks that apprehension of a non-fountain pen user that fountain pens are not comfortable. I don't like big nibs,
Okay.
all those things. so so yeah, I did my own little research for that, and thankfully it
That's
has
great.
been loved so far. We even had international buyers for this, so it was kind of really an interesting moment for me.
What are the other pens you have now? Handy.
The other prints, yes. So I'll just probably show.
I
I
own
have.
one Neelam pen, from you. It's fantastic. It's a little, a bit fatty, and to write also. Even for the people, those who have a little issue with the grasp, they'll definitely be
Yes.
able to hold it very right. I loved it.
To make an inlaid a hooded nib, not an inlaid, a hooded nib. The concept when Nisha discussed with me, I support it because of this very fact, sir.
Okay.
That some people have very closer grip. So what do we have to offer to them?
Yes.
So it was really when she told me that we are coming up with hooded fountain pen. I was like, wow, that's amazing. I mean, Indian brand coming up with a hooded pen. I mean, it was amazing. It
Okay.
was amazing. There have been big stalwarts when you talk of hooded pens. We all started with the Hero. The
Okay.
journey started with Hero or probably a Parker or these were the only 2-3 bands which used to
Yes.
make
Yeah.
such nibs.
Yes.
So yeah, so the Neelam again when they showed me the pen and they
Mm.
said, we are looking for a name for this. The moment I saw, I said, this is an inlaid Indian nib is nothing less than a treasure, and it
Wow.
should be named as Neelam,
Perfect. Perfect.
which means sapphire, which
Yeah.
actually means sapphire, one of the most precious stones
Okay.
to
Okay.
find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the topic what we were discussing about is something very, very intellectual, and it's so exciting. I was really excited about the word sustainability. That too, we are making it from fountain and pen. And before we really go into that, can you tell us what is a main difference between a ballpoint pen and a fountain pen, or difference between a fountain pen and all the other styles of pens, whether it is a gel or a roller ball or whatever it is, putting all of them together in one.
Yes, it is mainly majorly to do with what is the type of ink which is
Okay.
used. The ink plays a very vital role in this entire process, because
Yes.
at the end of the day, what is staining the paper
Okay.
is the ink.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is the ink.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the biggest difference which makes um, when the transition came from fountain pens to ballpoint pens. Uh, the major reason behind that was to bring more permanency to the to the ink, more
Okay.
permanency, so that when I
Yeah.
when you write, it should
Hmm.
not get erased by
Hmm.
due to maybe deterioration over a period of time, because the inks fade.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
inks fade. So that was the concept behind it. Then gel
Okay.
pens came in, so they use ballpoint inks use a oil-based consistency of ink,
Yeah.
and they're very heavily dyed, so that the moment somebody writes on the page, it doesn't get washed due to water, or those things are there. The gel inks came as a or ballpoint, because the major issue people faced in ballpoint is sometimes the ink dries up very fast, firstly,
Yeah.
and then they had a lot of interruptions uh, when they were writing. So
Okay.
to overcome that, they found out a intermediate technology called the gel technology, and the first ones to bring that are Adgel, if we
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah,
In fact, Uniball. Before
yeah.
that, Uniball, Signo was the first gel
True.
introduction to India, at least.
Yeah, yeah.
So when these technologies came in, and Pilot has been using such similar rings, but the gel technology is very different. It has a gel based ink, and that not only gives that waterproof effect of a ballpoint pen, but at the same time it gives the smoothness of a fountain pen. But when as handwriting analysis, and you would agree, sir, with me, when as an analyst you talk
Yeah,
of gel pens are the most deadliest. They
yeah.
are the deadliest.
True, true.
Uh, what people don't realize that the ball of
Okay.
the ballpoint pen, it takes all the pressure of your writing, and so does in the case of the gel. The tip is so different that it takes away all the pressure of your writing. You don't know how much pressure you are putting on the writing.
Okay. So,
So
what do you think is the suggestion for everybody in for a country like India, wherein the percentage of fountain pen users are really very low now? To
very low.
increase that, and
Yeah.
as we have a lot of advantages with the fountain pen, why is that people are really getting scared? And what is that we all can do? What in general, what do you think can be done to motivate or to increase the percentage of fountain pen users?
I think so. The only way is awareness. That is the only way. The coming generation, as it is, they are young and they need logic. And the biggest logic which I would give to all our viewers today is that um, if you see the fountain pen technology also, what looks to you very regressive is because you see only the superficial part of a nibbed pen. But there is so much technological advancement which has taken place in the fountain pen world. If you talk of the material of the pen, you talk of the different alloys, different kind of celluloids, acrylics, which have now been using, resins, which are being now being used. They are much more advanced than what they were previously. You talk of even ebonites, the kind of ebonites we are making today. Indian ebonite is equally popular.
Yes.
It's equally popular, and the kind of ebonite we are creating today, it has changed over a period of time. So are the nibs. So when the technology has impacted this also, and the inks these days, you get even waterproof inks in fountain pens. The only thing which I think so people find which kind of causes the apprehension is that it needs to be maintained. um, I'll suggest that it is I won't deny it is something which requires maintenance. It is something which requires your attention,
Yeah.
but it is also making you more passionate, and it is
True.
also teaching you how to value your assets.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something I have actually learned from by
True.
using
True.
fountain pen.
Yeah.
We
Once
start
lifestyle changes.
valuing.
Mm.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You start valuing things in your life,
Yes.
and you start taking care of things in that.
Yeah.
And as a hobby, if somebody, I'm not saying you take it as a hobby. I'll not suggest this to anyone. I mean, it is a very personal decision what
Yeah.
somebody wants to pick up as a hobby. But as a user, I mean, trust me, the kind of changes in your personality it brings, because it gives you that exclusivity. You people will be like that the first it is a very good conversation starter, what I have noticed.
Okay.
It could start at a negative note, like you said in the beginning, sir,
Yeah.
uh, who uses fountain pens these days.
Mm.
It can start with that, but then again, this is your opportunity to actually spread awareness.
True.
And talking of, we all are talking of sustainable development these days. It is contributing to we just don't realize. We just don't realize because of not much awareness. I mean, awareness is being carried out by fountain pen users, but it's not reaching to the level which we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in general, coming to the nibs, especially to generalize this, what kind of nib do you like, and what kind of nib do you suggest? Is it like, based on the occasion, based on the paper, it changes? Or what is the nib you suggest for a beginner? And as I asked you, what's your favorite nib?
Um, for me, it doesn't matter what metal it is. It
Okay.
should be smooth on the paper.
Yeah,
That is it. If you talk of the quality of the nibs, then I prefer a little bit on the wetter side. I'm not very fond of dry nibs. I prefer a little bit on the wetter side. I even love some nibs which have slight feedback. It kind of gives that rustic feeling to you, that you are using a fountain pen. It's not as smooth as a gel pen. So that rusticness I love it in a fountain pen.
okay.
Um, I prefer when it comes to nib sizes. I would suggest people that if you're a beginner, please go for steel iridium nibs, and you can also, when it comes to sizes, you should go for medium. Medium is the safest option to start,
Yes.
and it works any size. Whether you have small, whether you have medium, whether you have large, more than 5 mm, it's okay. Doesn't matter. This is one nib which will work for all.
Yeah.
That's why it's the safest option. And I'll suggest people that please start from a steel nib. Don't go directly jump into gold nibs, because it has different ductility, it has different tensile strength. So you might not be able to, figure out how to use it, and maybe end up eventually breaking the nib. So that is one thing I'll suggest. That be very careful with gold nibs.
Okay, and coming to the today's topic, how do you justify this word sustainable? That's something very, very, I'm all about, I'm very excited about, and I wanted you to throw some lights on this, justification about this fountain pens for sustainable living. How do you put it?
Um, To be honest, the thought of encouraging sustainable writing came to me after I conducted a podcast for Miss Ananya. She is the founder of Me Mrida, which promotes sustainable stationery. So when we did this podcast, and before that we were just having a discussion on this. She told me so many facts about how they are promoting sustainable stationery and why it is important, and how it is different from eco-friendly. Eco-friendly
Okay,
is a very different term,
yeah,
and sustainability is a very different term. So when we were discussing, that's when the thing struck me that
yeah,
why not we have sustainability in writing? Um, not only in terms of the instrument, but writing as a process itself is something we will be giving as an asset to our coming generation. One of the oldest form of communication. We have been communicating by scribbling on walls as cavemen, and we started with that.
yeah,
So at the end of the day, whatever we can say, we are extroverts. No, no, I am an extrovert. I don't need writing. That's wrong. Some people say I'm an introvert. Some people say, I have technology at my hand. One, one software issue and all your technology goes down. But
yeah,
what you write will always remain with us. And that's when I thought, why not promote sustainable writing? And I tried to do my little research, and I went through what are the sustainability goals of the uh, United Nations. And
okay,
that's how this concept came into my mind.
okay, okay. So what is that, something very special about fountain pen? Still, the same question, I repeatedly ask you, because, as we all are fountain pen lovers, how, what are the lines with which we can motivate people? Because already as it is, we have wonderful positive points about the fountain pen, using fountain pen, all these things. How to put it very easy way, and quick way.
the easiest way to put it across, especially to the young generation, is in their own language, and that is the social media.
Yeah,
It and bring out the bring out the modernized part of fountain pen. And also, um, uh, in last 1 year I've seen that many people have got back to picking up calligraphy and
Mhm.
artworks. So if you
Okay.
give them perspectives, if you can tell that, okay, this particular art form, you can do it with a fountain pen,
Yeah.
and this is how it looks when you do it with a fountain pen.
Yes.
So that's how you are bringing out, promoting, the pens which which will suit them, or which goes with their generation. We should bring that to them. See, this is also available. You can try it out. And if the biggest worry is, say, the finance part, so fountain pen starts at 50 rupees, and you can go till 5 lakhs. That's
Yeah.
up to our choice. And I think so. It's same as of any other product. It
Yeah.
is similar to that. So the best way to spread awareness is to spread in their own language what they like to do, what the younger generation likes to do, and how that can be achieved in a more effective manner. These days, the younger generation like to organize themselves by using organizability apps. So there are planner apps and all these things are available. How doing it with hand is more effective is something we can always promote. And there's a research paper on this. I'm forgetting the university which had carried out this research, wherein they picked up 30 people
Oh,
and divided them into three batches. So one batch was given a diary and writing material. The other
okay.
batch was given an iPad, and the third batch was given a mobile.
Okay.
So yeah, so they were given these things, and they were given a very hypothetical event sequences, a schedule.
Okay.
Schedule was given to them. The schedule was flashed.
Okay.
They saw they were supposed to memorize this schedule, and after that they gave them a break. And during that break, the researchers kept interacting with them so that their mind is diverted from the schedule. And post that, they were given a test based on the schedule. So they
Okay.
asked, okay, on 15th of July, what was the event which was scheduled for you? So the people now the result was, the people who wrote with hand
Mhm.
did it 80% right,
Okay.
nearly 80% right. The
Interesting.
people, yes, the people with mobile did it around uh, 50% right, and the people with iPad were lesser than that. So this is the impact of digitization. It has definitely automated many things for us, but for example, how many of us remember phone numbers these days?
True. Very quickly.
So encourage the youth through their lifestyle, how they can make fountain pen a part of their lifestyle. That is how we should motivate.
I heard that, some countries, there is a rule that at least 1 to 2 years you need to work in the military or army. Like that, I have heard, as a handwriting trainer, one of the schools has made it a mandatory that one particular year you need to use fountain pen. In between class 7 and class 10, they made it a compulsory thing, like, and it's a mandatory for all the students. How do you see? How do you see that?
Incredible, incredible. In fact, sir, wherever I have been asked to speak on this subject to the children, um, I think so. It's really nice that those schools have actually started a similar thing, that content writing to be in the curriculum, and um, bringing in writing as far. I mean, handwriting itself.
Yeah.
So this is something uh, which we should give as an opportunity in the curriculum, and later on it is a personal decision, do they want to stick to fountain pen writing or not. But at least in the formative years of their life, if they are using the fountain pen,
Yeah.
the kind of neural development they are going to
Yes.
have is going to be very different from uh, the counterparts who are probably using digital technology at a very young age. And the biggest difference will be, firstly in terms of eyesight, secondly in terms of attention, and thirdly in terms of memory. So all these three things are the major differences which will come because of writing, and secondly because of writing with a fountain pen.
So coming to the different pens also, when you compare this fountain pen with the ball pen pens, and these fountain pens are found very environment friendly also.
Yes,
Yeah, do you have some lights to throw on that?
absolutely. Because if we buy a fountain pen, because you have the option to use different colors, you have the option, different colors in terms of the inks, you are not getting bored of that. It
Mhm.
is not that the refill is finishing and it kind of, you are throwing it away. So that adds a longevity. You keep the pen, and it has that kind of a durability.
Okay.
The nib is created in such a manner that, and even there are companies like Visconti, you would be aware that there are so many brands, who use precious resin oblique natural resin, which is again very eco-friendly. All the even if acrylic is used, now here's where sustainability also plays a very vital role. Acrylic is a material which has a long lasting thing. You can give your pen to your coming generations. So
Yes.
that is the kind of thing. And during my little research which I did, I realized that refills are our ball pen and gel pen refills. They are the biggest contributors to carbon printing and the biggest contributors to landfills.
Okay. Okay.
A major chunk of the plastic which goes in landfills is also these refills and throwaway pens. So that is where uh, fountain pens are a more eco-friendly and a more sustainable option. And if you want to increase the longevity, go for well-renowned brands in these or people who are manufacturing, who have been manufacturing for a long time. So they are aware of how the quality. They are aware of the quality. And if that also you are a little apprehensive, then you also have the option of metal pens.
And do you suggest any separate pen for the gender discrimination pens, or maybe like left-handed, right-handed? Do you suggest any? Did you see anything like that
um, Sir,
apart from the
gender.
colors?
Um, I think so. I think so. This is one thing. I always say this because when I was doing my graphology course, my mentor taught me that you cannot differentiate. You cannot find out the gender in the handwriting.
Yeah.
So when you can't do that in the handwriting, I always advocate this. Why to do that in the pens? Let that be a personal choice. I mean, any women can go for a, or I have a Shepherd which is chrome color, and
Okay.
not a color seen with
Yeah.
women. Uh, so be it. If some gentleman wants to go for a bright pink, I mean that's his
Okay.
personal choice. Yeah, but if somebody wants to keep a formal touch, so they can go for sober colors. That's the difference which one should keep in. And the second part, sorry sir, in the flow I missed on the second part of the question.
That's what left-handed and right-handed.
Left-handed
Anything?
writer,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely, absolutely, especially for beginners, because um, as a lefty, because I'm a left-handed person, the perception of writing is like a mirror image of that,
Yeah.
of a right-handed writing. Now we have some technical issues here when we are writing with right hand, and the biggest issue is that the writing has to go from left to right.
Yes.
Okay. and that kind of becomes easier if you're doing with the right hand, because as you're writing, you are not going over the written part. Now when you do it with the left hand, it kind of becomes little tricky, because some people are overhead writers, some people write under, some people write lateral. So you are writing over the written part. So you have the possibility of smudging, and you have the possibility that the angle might not be right, and all those technicalities get involved when you're writing with a left hand. So, for a beginner, I would suggest to go for a left-handed pen. So, there are a couple of companies, Lamy, Stabilo.
Yeah.
Stabilo makes left-handed pens, and I have personally tried those pens, and they are really, really good uh, beginner pens, because firstly, they put an ink which is more suitable for left-hander, a more drier ink, a quick drying ink, and secondly, the nib angle is such which is suitable for uh,
Oh,
lefties. A normal stub, I mean, I used to have a lot of tough time with a stub,
okay.
because as a lefty, to do calligraphy is a very different ballgame, very different ballgame, or
Yeah.
even for that matter, write italics.
Okay.
Yes, yes, it's
Yeah.
really different an experience.
Oh,
So yes, I would suggest that left-handed people can check out these two brands for left-handed nibs, especially beginners. And thereafter you can move on to any nib size. I'll only suggest, please don't try oblique nibs and all
yeah.
those stub nibs unless you reach to that comfort level of using these nibs. Yeah.
So I was just expecting the pens what you have now as you are in the journey, like out of station. Can you show us,
Yes.
all those pens what you have now, right now,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
quickly
right
with the
now,
names and nibs, and if you have any specific lines in each one, please.
so I generally have I associate my pens with some of the other stories.
Okay,
That is a so I can't, if I go into that, then we have to extend the
it's not
session for another hour.
a day
But
or
yes,
two.
I'll quick. Yes, absolutely. But yes, this is a Pelican M20
Yeah,
200. I'm presently having.
yeah.
It's a very decently sized pen. I just love the thing, and I love the marble finish with it, as it reminds me of the marbles we used to play with in a childhood.
Okay.
And a very it kind of sends you in a very different kind of nostalgia. I don't know. I always do that. And pelican as a bird, I mean, I have admired it as a
Yeah.
child. So that's how it is. And a beautiful nib. It's a gold plated nib. It's not a gold nib, um, but it's a beautiful nib. It is the softest I have, I would say.
Oh,
Uh, yeah. And next I'm having is a sailor. It's called blueberry. It's this particular, and it's a Pro Gear Slim. So it's kind of very suitable if people um, who have small hands. This
okay.
this pen is the best, and people into sketching, and
Oh,
because people who sketching artists have to travel a lot. So if you are
yes.
out on a live sketching, you
Hmm.
need a pen which needs to be light and at the same time, portable. So it's kind of
Yes.
a very portable size,
Yeah.
and the nib is very smooth. At the same time, a little speed feedback which works in case of sketching, because you need to understand where you have to go thin, where you have to go broad in the shading and cross
Yeah.
hatching and all those stuff. So this
Hmm.
pen offers that kind of comfort levels.
Okay.
So I have recently learned sketching, so I am like trying out with this. Then I'm having then I have a Parker 51, the 2021 model.
Oh, wow.
It's it's
So
it's
all
finally there.
ambassadors carry that.
Yes, and I mean, I've been intrigued probably because of that, before even the 2021 model was launched, I've been searching for the 51
51.
vintage model for the last 1 year.
Yeah, yeah,
So I was like, finally, Parker heard my wish, and they created a 2021 version. Though there are a lot of differences between the vintage model and this model, but yet, yes, it still can give you the love of a hooded nib. And if you're a hooded nib lover, then this is an asset.
even I have come across with many people, those who are fond of that clip, arrow, clip. They only carry Parkers, nothing else.
Yes, yes. In fact, the I think so. That is the most iconic clips. If you talk of, most popular clips, if you would. I think so. I think so. If you ask my personal choice, I love the clip of Parker and. More than the Parker clip, I love the Visconti clip. I mean, I don't know. There's
Oh,
something really exclusive about that. I,
that
I
kind of,
really love that.
bridge, kind of aero,
Yes,
kind of, yeah,
yes. It
elevation.
it 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 reminds me of the clip reminds me of uh, the the curve of, if you see a carabiner. So
Yeah.
it kind of, I don't know, it's relatable or not, but it kind of reminds me of that same curve. So
Yeah.
uh,
Even I have become a proud owner of Visconti recently, because of Mr. Vishal. I'm thankful to him.
yes, I think so.
I love it.
Most of us are really thankful to Vishal and Nisha
Yeah.
for doing so much for the fraternity. They and organizing one of a kind Indian exhibitions on fountain pens. I mean, it's
True.
incredible. It's really
Yeah.
incredible. And in fact, this particular vintage 31 MB, I got it from.
Oh,
This is my only snowflake as of now, but
Mont Blanc.
yes, and and I have kept it. I purposefully am postponing my. Owning a 146 or a 144 or a 149,
Okay.
because I'm like, it should be something really epic if I have to have them. I have to
True.
feel that, I've reached somewhere to own it.
Good, good, good.
And last is, this is a very, very, I mean,
Visconti.
the most, yes, this is the Breeze version. Uh, a very, very handy pencil, very handy pen. And people who hold very close to the nib section, I think so for them this pen is really perfect. There's no huge step to obstruct their hand movement. Uh, it's really comfortable, and a very comfortable size with a snap cap. So these are the few I'm carrying.
That's
uh,
great.
the
How do
most
you?
precious is a
Uh,
Sheffer, which I own,
oh,
vintage model, which is my grandfather's pen. And
okay.
the particular model, he purchased it from England, so it's an England manufacture.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Wonderful.
so that's a treasure. So I didn't bring it.
Yeah, yeah. How are you taking care of them? Do you have a special case, or how do you protect them? If you don't mind, is it around you? Can we show?
Yes, yes.
Can we see that?
And since we are talking of sustainability today,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
particular case will be uh, a new information for many. I
Okay.
got it customized from a brand which is into eco-friendly, making eco-friendly bags, pouches, and such stuff.
Okay.
And they are Recharkha. The name is Recharkha, and they are based in Pune. They are
Okay.
based in Pune.
Oh,
Two friends, they have started this brand,
mm,
uh, and they are promoting sustainability again. So
okay.
they made this special roll-in pouch for me, and it's
Wow.
really compact. If you have 5 to 6 pens, it takes 6 pens.
Beautiful.
So this was like a prototype I got made, and
Mm,
if anybody interested can let me know. I can get them this.
sure.
We are working out on on more such accessories for fountain pens,
Okay.
which are which are eco-friendly and
Okay.
recycled. So they are more into recycling. So if you see this woven part
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the pen
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the pouch,
yeah, yeah.
this is nothing but old plastics thrown away, which we dispose
Oh,
of.
okay,
They
okay.
have been recycled.
Beautiful. Yeah,
So that's how they have worked it out. And all the linings, everything, if you see, it is cloth.
very
So
appreciable.
cloth and the material, if you see this particular, it's more of um, uh, again, this cloth is again something which is recyclable kind of material, which is eco-friendly, and doesn't scratch the pen. The biggest problem for us as fountain pen users is if the holder gives a scratch to the pen. That's really painful.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
haven't even taken out and you have got a scratch on the pen.
True.
So generally leather, what I realized, firstly, I am not a strong supporter of leather,
Mm-hmm.
unless it is vegetable leather or such stuff. um, Again, towards, because I promote sustainable writing, that is
Sustainability.
the
Yeah.
reason. um, and what I realized, leather pouches are very hard. They're very hard, and somehow the inner lining,
Mm.
if it is not proper, then it kind of really hampers your pen a lot. So we came up with this last year,
Okay.
I think so December. No, this year, in the beginning of the year, we had come up with this prototype, and we are just working out a few more things before we actually declare the collaboration.
Okay.
Uh, so there are many more surprises for fountain pen lovers, and and
Ve-
and for people who are into journaling and all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very good to know actually. So I'm so happy to know all these things, and we all will become first ones to customize and buy from you and definitely. And coming to a little another question, as we all are pen collectors, we know that it's expensive hobby. Did you ever get a kind of a little negative or a harsh kind of feeling from your family members, and what kind of support you have from the family? Why are you buying? Is it a jewelry or what? Why are you buying these many pens? And kind of they also use the word waste. Mm, did you ever get that? If it is not a personal thing to you?
Oh, not at all. In fact, the response was very positive.
Okay,
Especially from my husband. He was like, "Thank God you are not spending in jewelry, and you are spending on
great.
something more, more valuable. At least you are encouraging children, and it is inspiring. It's inspiring people around. Like the moment people come to our room and they see, oh,
Mm.
you have fountain pen, and they get inquisitive. Oh, you are a collector. Okay, show your collection. And this kind of conversation has been I've come across now like so many times. So it has been little contrary because and if you ask about my parents, they have been fountain pen users. My father has been
Oh,
using fountain pens since in school days, and
wow.
his handwriting is monotype cursiva, absolute. You
Yeah.
can't. You will be like, how can this be? I mean, is it humanly possible to write like this? But then he
Okay.
actually writes like this, and he has won prizes for that, for his handwriting. So,
Okay.
writing as a culture has been deeply rooted into me because my mother is a teacher, my aunt is a principal, we have educators at our home, my father is an old soldier. So, writing has always been, and army and the armed forces as an organization, we still rely on written more than the
Yes.
digital
Digital.
thing, because here the issue is of security,
Mhm.
and we need documentation for a very long process, long period. It is not just for some time.
Yeah, yeah.
So all those things, factors kept in mind, we still follow the culture of writing a lot in the army.
That's quite very interesting. There's so many beautiful things, even for me, quite learning. A lot of huge information. Thank you so much. And it's been an hour we are talking. Like I never thought that it's going on just like that. Maybe hours together and days together we can keep talking on fountain pens. And for
Absolutely,
us, for our
absolutely.
fraternity, it is a very fair topic. And lastly,
Yeah.
mm, please throw some lights on the sites, websites, or the information, or the books, or the people, or the companies, or brands. What do you suggest for all the fountain pen lovers?
To gain information on the latest trends and all, I'll suggest you can subscribe to the world class, the global retailers. They keep doing I really recently saw that Gule Pens have come up with something called as a pencast, which is a video podcast, and it's really informative. Really informative. I came to know so many. They have something as a Q&A section, so we came to know about it's really informative on so many aspects, minute aspects of the fountain pen, which we kind of sometimes ignore or forget. So it's a good way to refresh those things. Um, on YouTube, you have there are many good pen critiques. And talking of pen critiques, the list is topped by Mr. Stephen Brown. So
Yeah.
you have to subscribe to their and realistic, to the
Mhm.
point reviews. That is all you get on his channel, for what I've realized. And when it comes to Indian brands, hello, hello, am I audible?
Yeah. You're audible.
Okay.
You are.
So
Yeah.
when it comes to Indian brands, Indian brands, they have their websites. You can visit Ranga Pens. They have their websites. There's so much of information of what Indian brands are manufacturing. You go to Wazir Fountain Pens. You go to and then there are really good bloggers on fountain pens. Um, there's so many of them. You can just connect with me and just drop in a query, and I can suggest who they can connect to. And the best person to tell you about fountain pens, we have you, sir. Who
No, no,
else
no.
is
We
best?
have many people like Mr. Vishal, Miss Nithi,
Yes.
and many people from your group also, from our group, of
Uh,
course. Think.
yes, yes, and when you talk of Indian critics, I would strongly recommend. Please go and watch the reviews by Dr. Kocher. They're very practical reviews. And I think so that's a very good way to decide on a pen before buying it. I mean, it has really worked for me too. And personally, we had this small pen exchange which we did. He suggested me a pen, and he asked me to Nidhi, just try it out once. You will like the pen. And he was so right. He was so
Wow.
right in that.
Wow.
So we have such such critics in India also, who can guide you in the right manner. And of course, there are many Indian stationery manufacturers for fountain pens. I'll suggest that to begin with, use pens when you're buying a fountain pen. Please buy fountain pen friendly stationery, because that otherwise I've seen that also at times acts as a demotivating factor. Arey, we cannot use it on paper. so so we have the Ayush paper that they have really come up in the last 1 year, really come up, and very affordable prices say you talk of notepads, diaries, any fountain pen friendly related products. There are many other ventures who have come up with fountain pen friendly handmade papers.
Okay.
So that is again like Kagzi. Kagzi is one of them. There is also there are also a few more brands who are working on them. Then they'll soon come with. So please keep a tap on that. Um, it's really wonderful to try these products. So yes,
That's
that's about, I think
fantastic.
so.
Actually, this 1 hour, I didn't know like how it's passed very, just like that. And I didn't introduce you much, formally. Still, there is a website, and as I have come to know a lot many things from you, I request all the viewers, as we are not having one-to-one interaction, I strongly suggest all the people, those who are watching this, those who are going to watch it after sometime in a YouTube or something, as you see on the screen, nithicj.com, nithicj.com. That's a wonderful website, and you can interact with her. With your permission, I would like to inform our people, Ms. Nithi. Please go through that website, and she is to answer to any query regarding the fountain pens. More than a pen collector, more than a veteran army personality, she's a wonderful human being. We had a fantastic interaction, Miss Nidhi. Thank you so very much. And this video will remain quite long with us and with everybody, and all the fountain pen lovers and the beginners also would like to see this repeatedly. Fantastic interaction with you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
I'm
you.
absolutely humbled, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Miss Nidhi. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.